get by Benning. Darnell Nurse left it in the corner, gets up center. Perry scores! Corey Perry!
Lilia able to shake away from Solani. It's given away to Solani around in front. Score! Teemu Solani with the steal.
Three in the face, 1-1. Score! Off the floor! On the board! Paul Kariya!
It's gonna start right now.
Get by Benning.
And for those of you who might have heard us here, we are having technical difficulties, but now we're not. Now we're good.
As always. This is a fabulous start.
Yeah, it's just kind of the way it goes. Ed's not here to run the show.
Yeah. So what are we doing?
Well, it's the Forever Mighty post-game show. Now we're back. Michelle's able to pick this all up together and get this going, so that makes everything very nice.
Hoping. What a game, right?
No, hell of a game.
No.
That's what we're here to talk about for sure. I just want to make sure that all of our audio here is working. Everything's going well.
Well, maybe one of those two things are happening.
So we're set. Jason is ready to move on here. Are you ready to start talking about probably the best game we've watched in the last year?
I wouldn't say that. I felt this kind of built on what they were building in at the end of last year. Once Carlisle's system was out, the completely outdated system, and something I was waiting for Akins to come in and do something, and all the kids and everybody to just be ready for. I mean, they look like what the NHL needs. Like, if you want to be good in the NHL, they're doing what you need to do.
Well, I mean,
I feel it's an extension from what they did at the end of last season.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's just a giant step up. It's just a giant step up from what we've seen. It's early, too. Can't forget. It's very, very
damn fun to watch.
One great game, right? One great game. One decent game, but one great game tonight. You pull it off against the Sharks. And I got to blame Ed for something real quick, Jay. I got invited by 3 different people to go to this game tonight. And I had to figure out how to, get everything going. We were worried about getting your laptop ready. Wanted to make sure that audio was going to be set up. My wife stepped in and set all the Twitch stuff up because Ed's not here. So God bless her for being involved in this whole process. Because Jason and I are basically, we're idiots. We're cavemen. Can't figure these things out. Right? That's us.
Yeah.
So, got invited by 3 different people to this awesome game that I had to sit in my lovely couch and watch. But the bright side is, got to drink some nice beer for not $17 per draft. That was the big winner for me tonight.
You can't even get nice beer for $17 a draft. I know. I was there for the preseason game. Thank you, Jimmy, by the way. And it was $15 for a Budweiser.
Dude, it is such a gnarly amount of money you're paying to drink just the bottom of the barrel beer. I think I bought 2, and it was like $17 each. So I went with I went to the Gulls Ring game, and Dave went with me, with my family went, and it was like, I'm like, I'll get the first round because he drove me. It was like, what tip was like almost $40. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, I was like, damn it, just went broke.
All right, man. I got one drink.
Hold on, I got to mortgage something real quick.
Well, let's hop into the game, man. Let's get to the pregame notes. This is I could not wait to start this show tonight because especially after watching the second period with that 5-on-2 rush, I was like, what is this? We never get to see this.
Yeah, and the last guy back was Raquel.
Unbelievable.
Like the forward, like your most lethal scorer is the 5th guy in the rush. And then he shoots wide, which kind of blows. But it's almost like a lot of them were just kind of like, oh, we're not used to all of this. Like the older guys, not quite, like, oh, yeah, we get these chances. We should start getting that in. So it's amazing the amount of chances this team had. This game was so much fun to watch. And I've been saying it for years. It's not necessarily how, everyone's like, oh, we need more goals. We need more goals. No, just get chances. And I don't care if a goalie makes a great save or this, something ridiculous happens. It doesn't go in. Just the fact that there are chances. And the Ducks never had chances the first 3 quarters of last year And then this game in particular, they had very, very many chances. So.
Yeah, how did you feel this going into tonight? Right, so Sharks coming off 0-2 start. They got embarrassed by the Knights hilariously. Was one of the best things I saw yesterday. So they're coming in the second half of back-to-back. No Evander Kane, which is a big deal. He's a good player for that team. So coming into this game, you're like, we kind of faced the Coyotes, and it was good enough effort. Not the crispest game, first game out, but were you pretty confident going in and facing the Sharks tonight?
No, I wouldn't say I was like super confident because for those exact reasons. I mean, San Jose got embarrassed. I think it was 4-1 in Vegas.
5-1.
Then they have no, that it was home and home, and then they went home and lost 5-1,
for them,
which is even more embarrassing. And I think even Logan Couture said, "I feel bad for the paying fans to come, pay good money and watch what happened there." So I figured, the only thing is that, hey, it was back-to-back. There's still no Evander Kane. There's, they don't have Pavelski in there quite yet. Carlson had to miss it because he had the first game because of the birth of his daughter, which congratulations to him. So he only played, one preseason game, and then this was his second game, and it's back-to-back. So there was the opportunity for the Ducks to do well, but at the same time, I could see San Jose going all right, we just got embarrassed twice by Vegas, and now we're going to take it out on the Ducks. But the Ducks are not the team to be taken light in anymore. I mean, it's not, you don't get to walk through Anaheim like you did last year. So I was more confident because I know how good Anaheim is and how great they're going to be this year and how much they're going to surprise teams. So I figured this was another stepping stone in moving forward and being an exciting team and one that might steal a win from San Jose.
Yeah, and the chat's talking right now. Someone mentioned, I think it was Ricky, says, so did anyone predict Del Zotto scoring first for Forever Mighty 3 Stars, right?
If you did, you win.
I don't think anyone did.
You win the jersey.
Not a
you win the jersey.
Yeah.
If you did that, I mean, hats off. That's some bold guessing right there.
Yeah, that is very bold guessing right there. So
why didn't he say Stanley Cup champion Del Zotto? I want to know.
I don't think he
kind of left that title out.
He got the participation day with the trophy because he wasn't really there. Really,
the win. Asterisk Del Zotto. Whatever. We really don't have time. I wonder if he got a ring.
I don't think so.
You think he got one of those massive rings? No, probably not.
He maybe got a plastic one. They gave it to him because he didn't play. So,
Cracker Jack box.
Gibby starting in net, Gooley and Fowler, who were outstanding against the Coyotes, ridiculously good again tonight. Devin Shore, Getzlaf, and Kasha. What a starting top line that is, right? That's if you're gonna call it that. As much as we've seen, Aikens has been the guy to roll all four lines. All lines played almost equal minutes last game. The scratches on the night, Holzer, obviously, because we got Michael Del Zotto, championship ring. Almost Michael Del Zotto. And then Sam Steele scratched for Isaac Lundestrom and Nick Ritchie for Nick Delorier. I question that still. Not that Delorier had a bad game. Not that he did tonight. He didn't see him much. He had a fight. But I think Ritchie just plays better hockey and can fight. That's my only gripe. But not really a gripe. It's early. Got to get the nasty guy in against the nasty team. I get it. That's what they wanted.
I get it, but I think Ritchie does that too, but sometimes at the detriment of that he takes unnecessary penalties.
Yeah, he can.
And where Delorier really won't do that, but can still stand up and fight. So, I feel like Delorier is probably that other person that's going to fill that, hey, if Nick Ritchie's not in the lineup or something like that, we got a tough guy who's, not going to really take a whole lot of minutes away from other people. Right. And I feel like Ritchie, he's going to get the opportunity to try and once again prove himself as a first-round draft pick. But I did not miss him at all in this game. I think Delorier did the kind of enforcer role at this point. And I thought Shore, Kasha, and Getzlaf were just absolutely
They were lights out today.
I thought that was an amazing line, especially Kasha. Have you ever seen someone so happy to get assists?
He's definitely the happiest guy on the ice.
The dude just lost his mind. Like, Getzlaf gets a goal, and he's on the ground, and Kasha just comes in. He doesn't care. He's just going to fall on the ground with him and just hug him to death.
Do you think
And,
anybody
set up
thought that, like,
Delzada.
Getzlaf, because he's an old man, like he got hurt the way he fell after he scored? We'll get to his goal here, obviously, because he scored.
Yeah, well, I'm an old man then. I
mean,
guess
it looked like it would have hurt us,
painful.
but
I'm
we're
like,
definitely not in shape as he is. I mean, we're close, but not in shape as he is, for sure. Let's get started in the first period, man. Let's talk about the overall feel of that first period. I mean, Aaron Dell, my God. That guy, you want to argue about goalies not being able to play the puck, and I'm always that guy. Like, stay in your net, sir. Stay in your net, sir. Like, you're playing with Martin Jones, perhaps the worst goalie, actually the worst goalie last season, and you were part of the worst tandem last season.
Worst starting
Quit
goalie.
playing the puck. Like, unbelievably bad. Aaron Dell in that first period.
Yeah, his decision making with the puck was off, and I've not to say I'm NHL caliber, but
You're
I
close.
had games where like I can make I'm so close. I can make good passes, and then I have other games where I just flub it. And when I flub it once, I'm like, all right, that's all I needed to know. I'm out. I'm done. But he kind of continued throughout the game, just kind of just making bad decisions. But I also really want to compliment Kasha, because he had the opportunity to actually go around the front of the net and possibly do it. And I could see as he was coming in, he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go this way. And he went that way right as Dell decided to try and throw it up. Intercepts it, throws it right up to Delzado for, Delzado's, I'm going to go out there and on a limb and say his easiest goal to score. All he had to do was just aim at the net and hit it.
Do you think that if that was Kevin Bieksa, that goes over the net?
If it was Cogliano, it hits
it was
three posts and out. It does not go in.
Oh, my God. I miss Cogs a little bit. He was just a little bit. Such a great player, again, but could never finish.
But, I mean, at that point, what the hell is Delzado doing at the top of the net? And Kasha,
Dallas Aikens, baby. Dallas Aikens. Drive in.
The whole new landscape for the Ducks is just like, hey, be tenacious on defense and be creative on offense. And that's what it was. It was just like, hey, you got free reign. You think maybe something might happen here. Hey, jump in, do it, see what happens. Forwards, defense, I don't give a crap. Just make it happen. And they did. And Kasha's just, it was like Thor when he saw, the Incredible Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. He's like, yes!
He's my best friend,
he was so happy that he got that pass to him. But I guess going way back to your point, Dell, that was kind of the, all right, I made one bad play. I shouldn't do that anymore. But it didn't really stick to that.
Can we address the chat real quick? So Eddie's in chat.
Sure.
And I know you can't see it, but
why isn't he on the pod?
He's chatting here, and then of course, he's he's going back and forth with everybody who's in here, and then of course he has to say the real question though: how much do you guys miss me being on tonight's show? I mean, not very much. Not very much. I mean, he pretty much ruined my night by not being able to go to the game tonight. I mean, that's not very much.
I would.
So Aaron Dell has that massive mishap, gives the puck away to Kasha. Kasha finds Michael Delzado. All of a sudden, it's 1-0 Ducks. This kind of goes back and forth.
But so is it Dell to Kasha to Dell?
Zato. Yeah, there you go. So
it's a stretch, but I'm
MDZ, Mighty Duck Zato. I guess we're going to call him that from now on.
Mighty Delzado
scores, and then the broadcast team, because they can't stay away from making the most ridiculous statements. This time it was Hayward. This time, last game was Allers. This time it was Hayward. Served him up a pizza. Served the pizza. That's what Allers said 2 nights ago.
Exotta?
Served them up a pizza.
Exotta? Like there's a Z in pizza and the Z in
I mean, no, it happened. It happened last game too. So it's like this new thing they're saying. I don't understand this whole thing. I've never heard that in my life to describe a play.
Serving him up a pizza. Serving up pie. I see that.
But like serving up a pizza. Or like I don't know, man. I
guess it's better than ladies'
it.
teas. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. They got to come up with something, I guess, every year.
I mean, I was like, I told Eddie last year, like, how long until they make a steel and iron pun about Sam Steele hitting the post?
Oh.
Like, how long until he tries to make some sort of play where, like, steel denied by the iron, or the iron is stronger than the steel.
Or the Iron Cross.
Oh,
no.
I don't know if you want to say that. So the Nick Delorier fights, it's what he does, and all of a sudden so the Delorier goes in and makes a hit on Erik Karlsson, and then the broadcast says you can't hit the highest paid defenseman in the league. So now you got to fight Brendan Dillon.
You're gonna have to fight for it. But it wasn't that bad of a hit.
No, he just kind of
bumped
him off the boards. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a hit, but I mean, they looked at each other. They went. I appreciated that they both wanted to fight, and I didn't think no one really won that one. I think Delorier maybe just a little bit, just because he started firing them rapid at the end, but that was a nice tilt. No one got embarrassed. I don't
get it, man. I was like, whatever. You got to fight. You got to fight. Dylan's got to defend his. He's got to defend Johnny Depp because he's on the ice.
I think at that point, I think San Jose's like, dude, all right, what? Okay, they're frustrated. I gotta assume at that point.
So,
but I mean,
let's read the stats here because the Ducks are facing off against two Norris Trophy winning defensemen tonight. Absolutely good defense. But the Ducks were actually able to outchance them in all situations, 10-7, outshoot them 12-7. Very nice. High danger chances, 3-0 in favor of Anaheim. Of course, all these stats brought to you by Natural Stat Trick. If you guys are wondering where we get our stats from, good overall
we
first
just make
period.
Them up, but,
yeah, I mean, mostly Eddie makes them up on his Canadian website.
Right.
It's going to be a theme tonight where we're going to bash Ed.
Yeah,
he's not in the next few shows either, so it's going to be a good time for the next week or so. Ducks power play. Did you get a chance to watch the power play against the Coyotes? How awful that was. The one chance we got to see him.
The one chance
it just didn't get a chance to get set up. The puck was never really in the zone.
It looked rusty. Most of that Arizona game looked kind of rusty.
Yeah,
they were good times. They're good. It was a good start. But they looked far better.
That was what I was looking for. Tonight looked really good.
It was great.
Looked really good.
I mean, just in good spots, good shots, and just it didn't quite work. But it's as long as they got the chances, then once again, it's way better than they come in, they didn't get in. They came in, they dumped it. I got cleared.
Yeah.
They can't. Oh no, they're doing a line change. They're going to hold on to it for a while. And all right, we're down to 20 seconds left on that power play, and nothing happened.
But tonight, they had Raquel in the Ovi spot tonight, wiring a shot on Dell. They had guys in front of the net waiting for rebounds. No problems trying to get those. And the passing was so much cleaner tonight, all throughout the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Most notably for me, I know we're talking about the power play, but most notably, you could see it in the first period, definitely in the second period, the neutral zone transition game of Anaheim was. I mean, that's what made me go, what am I watching? This is not last season's team. These guys are actually making plays through the rush and transitioning their game from defense to offense very, very well. And it just, God, I don't miss Randy Carlisle, man.
All right. Not for a damn minute. Why it took so long? It's almost like you were dating a really horrible person, and then all of a sudden you break away from it. You're like, oh God, life is so much easier.
But it's like you're dating a horrible person, but you didn't know it was that bad. Like all your friends are telling you it's horrible, and you're like, well,
it's not that bad. We'll get
sometimes
there. I feel like
things are good.
Bob Murray's going through. Bob Murray's going no, it's just it's just different. You don't understand it the way I do. You don't see the way he looks.
And it was the second time that they had a relationship, right? He hired him once, fired him, hired him again, fired him.
Double dipped. You can't double dip.
He went back. He went back to say bad relationship.
But Aikens is perfect for this team. A lot of people will say it's a team in transition. I think
it is.
There wasn't any transition. They were ready.
It's game
to move
2.
on.
It's game 2.
Yeah.
Let's not get overexcited. It's game 2. We can't be the homers that are just like, we're winning the cup, baby, going 82-0. Like
no, they're not going to go 82-0. But I'm so much happier. You talk about the score, talking about how we're the most unwatchable team that's going to be happening this season. That got tweeted at
us today too, by the way, tonight. That was such a good thing. They're like, yeah, really, good job, score. Like they were talking trash about that article for sure.
Yeah, it's horrific, and it's just someone that just looked at, they didn't score enough goals last year, last in the league, so they're going to suck this year. And it's like, all right, you don't know what the hell's going on.
So Akamara in chat says, does it help that Aikens coached all the guys that have come up in the last couple of years? Of course, absolutely. They're familiar. They want to play for him. You always talk about, at least the league does. It always seems to be a thing where if a guy gets promoted from AHL to NHL, all the boys that played for him in the AHL, they're like, hey, I'll run through a wall for this guy. I'll go through anybody and do anything to be, to fight for him. He's our guy. That's who I want to win for. And that's the case here in Anaheim. All these kids, they all played for him. They all like Dallas. He's, by all accounts, a great guy. He's a player's coach. He comes with all that swagger on the, with no tie, shirt unbuttoned. He's got his sport coat on. He's not all like
his hair disheveled.
Yeah, he's not all like buttoned up and stuffy and just looks like somebody who's just ready to go to a lawyer business meeting. He doesn't look like that.
Why do I feel like you're saying his name's Randy right now?
Oh, man, that's weird.
He doesn't look like Randy.
Or Brucey. He doesn't have that, my face is on fire, I'm a drunk Irishman look. He doesn't have that. Yeah, he doesn't have that.
Oh, damn it. The kid's screwed
His
up
face
again.
is all
I need
red.
30-plus-year-olds on this team right now.
So let's get to the second period now, because we got to talk about there were some good things in the second period for sure. A lot of good things. Only one miscue really that resulted in a goal. And then it was just basically guys getting caught too far down low and giving Logan Couture too much time. And that's pretty much what happened there. But, I mean, I got to rip on your goalies, dude. Aaron Dell again. Awful play by Aaron Dell handling the puck.
My goalie.
I mean, you love goalies. You're the leader of the goalie union. Aaron Dell tries to fire the puck up the slot. Why?
Subsequently, his membership has been revoked.
It should be, along with Martin Jones. But Henrique is denied off of just an awful play. I couldn't believe that. And you know what, though? That was actually after John Gibson made some really outstanding saves against the Sharks, stopping Tomas Hertl. Why is it Tomas, by the way? Do you know?
He's foreign.
Okay. We'll leave it at that. Gets stopped at a rebound shot by Hertl on the doorstep.
That was a very underrated save, by the way. I won't even say underrated, but the fact that, there was an opening. He had to locate where that was and then just push his left leg all the way back to the post, and just in enough time on someone who I expected at the beginning of the season, Tomas Hertl, to get about 30 goals this year. And that was an opening that could have easily gone in. And if you don't like John Gibson, then this is the reason you should like him. Because
for you.
Almost any other goalie, that goes in. It's just his thought process of, here it is, and just to push it out, be in the right spot, and know where to throw his leg. He could have thrown it in a different spot, and it still goes in. It's those little plays that he does. So often they get overlooked, just through the course of a game. That could be a goal, and we're talking about a completely different hockey game. That was outstanding save and desperation save that he does, even when he doesn't, he does all the normal stuff you'd expect him to do, and then he does the amazing things that are just look so easy, but are actually extremely difficult.
So Sea Monkey, great name, by the way, in Twitch chat, says Gibson looked calm all night. And he has. The first two games of the season, but he's not wearing the cape. And I noted that on Twitter tonight. He's not having to wear the Superman cape. He's like, okay, cool. Here's a routine save. He had to make a couple good ones tonight and a couple good ones against the Coyotes, but not like 4-minute sequences where the Ducks are hemmed in their zone and not able to change. And he's got to make a save and then a rebound. And then, the shot got blocked, but he had to drop it and slide all the way over to this side. It's just, that's exhausting. That's got to be exhausting. I wouldn't know, clearly. But, I mean, you play net. I mean, that's incredibly exhausting. It has to be for a guy who had to see that all last year.
100%. And it's a different type of exhaustion from, when you're playing out and you're skating around and you're tired and you're reaching for players and you get a little tired. That's one sort of exhaustion. Down, up, left, right, hold tight. Don't let any openings. Just that whole sequence happening. If you have to do that for about 20 or 30 seconds, that's exhausting for a beer league goalie like me. To do it for 2-3 minutes at a time, make the save, make sure you are now back up and your shoulders are square, your chest is up, no, you're not leaving anything up or over. It's extremely exhausting. So the fact he doesn't have to do that, he can take on, 36, 37 shots he did tonight, and it doesn't look like he was tired at all. It's just because he didn't have to do it all within a 15-minute sequence.
Right. It was 38 shots, not 38 scoring chances, 36 shots against, so 35 saves today.
Yes.
Yep.
So, even though I think the Ducks technically got outshot that game, you you couldn't tell. The Ducks dominated, and that is unbelievable for a goalie when you have to make 1, 2, every now and again you got to bail out and you have a sequence for a minute. But if you have to go period in, period out, and you're going to have about 3 or 4 of these 2 to 3 minute sequences where you just got to stand on your head, you're going to be exhausted, and eventually by the All-Star break, you're too tired to be any good at the end of the season. So this is why I like where the Ducks are at. The Ducks are much better defensively, not only from their defensemen, but from their forwards.
Yeah, no, it's like a team defense. At the broadcast, and I hate giving them credit. You know how much I love our broadcast team. But, defense by committee, that's what's going on right now. That's how we're playing. And it's certainly helping out John Gibson for sure. Now. So, real quick, we don't need to go in depth on the Sharks goal because we got to get to the third period here shortly. But he didn't really have a chance. There's nothing Gibby could do on that. He goes down in butterfly, goes to make the save, traffic in front, Couture picked it top corner. I mean, I always love when you break down goals against Gibson, but at this point, I mean, there's really nothing he could have done there.
No, not much. He didn't really get a great look at it. He knew what side it was going on, and he even looks to the side that it goes, but he really doesn't get a good look because of a moving screen right at the moment of truth. That's what I call it, where like literally you're focused, you're dialed in, and all of a sudden something moves right in front of you at the exact moment the shot's made, and then you have to pick it up halfway to you. And when that happens, if it's a good shot, it's in. I mean, if it's a halfway close to you shot, then maybe you start throw a limb out there or something, and it hits you, and you get lucky a little bit, and you start looking where's the rebound because that's all you can hope for. But that was put in such a good spot, and that moving screen right at the moment of truth, just they're going to go in. They're not going to they're not all going to be saves. You can't get shut out every game, but I mean. Talk about it now. Gibson's only given up 1 goal a game.
Let's talk about this goal, though, because this was very exciting. 2 games,
so happy.
highlight reel goals for the Ducks. Cam Fowler with the edge work, almost as good as Connor McJesus, as you would say. Damn good edge work, the pivot on the hips. I was blown away, dude. I almost jumped off my couch 2 nights ago watching that when he pulled that move off. It went top shelf, far side. But
all the Cam Fowler haters out there. Can't hear you
Hampus
now.
Lindholm leads the charge out of the defensive zone. Already has 2 streaking players through the neutral zone, and Kasha and Getzlaf hits Kasha with a perfect pass, and then Kasha with the money pass to Getzlaf in stride. Getzlaf, a big hulking machine, but an old machine, not very fast, but had enough on his stride to be able to break it on Aaron Dell, go backhand, forehand, and deke, and then go tumbling into the boards. Oh my God, dude! What a goal by Ryan Getzlaf! That I was outstanding by him there. I almost thought he was going to drop pass it. To be honest with you,
right? Drop pass it to whoever's
there.
The referee. Hey, ref, here, drop pass. I got turnovers everywhere. The underrated move was that Kasha could have put his head down and then just kind of drove into the zone. But he kind of picks his head up and just makes a little subtle move to the middle. And then that just kind of opens everything up, and a direct pass and a strike right to Getzlaf. And then it gets everything in Getzlaf's, body, his essence, his being. He actually goes, I'm going to shoot here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to figure out a way to shoot. And he does a great job of actually making a deke, getting around Dell and burying it. Dell was way too aggressive on that play, in my opinion. Although, who thinks Getzlaf's going to pull a deke? I mean, if anything, he was maybe waiting for Getzlaf to come in and do a wind-up slap shot, and then, no, it's not a slap shot. It's a drop pass to no one. So he kind of gets beat on that one, but Getzlaf goes tumbling to the boards. Everyone holds their breath for a second, and then he gets the biggest cuddle hug from Kasha that I've
after
ever
he
seen.
landed ever so awkwardly on the ice and slammed into the boards. He fell hard, dude. He fell so
ran
hard.
into him. He's like, "Hey, buddy, you did it. Good job."
And that's like the biggest guy on the team and the smallest guy on the team.
Yeah.
It's like a kid seeing his dad score a goal in beer league. It's like, we're on the same team.
We did it.
All excited. So good, man.
That was great. Love it.
Getzlaf killing it. Carter Rowney gets a breakaway shortly after that. Just fumbles it at the moment of truth there in front of Aaron Dell. Could have easily been 3-1 right then. The Ducks at that point were out chancing the Sharks to like 3-1. They were just
going nuts in the second.
Is this the year that we turn this around in the second period? 2 games in, we get it. But are we ready to maybe have great second periods of hockey? Because the last several seasons, Jay, and I know you're with me, and I know Eddie is too, but it's like maybe we have a 1-0 lead in the first period. Go to the second period, we're like, oh, Jesus. Oh, please.
All right.
Can we please just get out of this?
We got a
just
chance.
Get out of this.
We give up 2, and we're down 2-1. We got a chance in the third. It was never like, hey, this period might be good for us. It was never that thought process. But, yeah, early on. But, I mean, they're just playing well. So it doesn't matter what period they're in. There's going to be lulls here and there, and second period's always going to be tough anyways because of the long change. But it's never like, all right, we're going in this period shorthanded for 20 minutes, and we're going to try and figure this out. Hopefully we come out okay on the other end. Now it's like, hey, we're going in. There's a chance, it might not work out. That's kind of the same with the other team, though. So hopefully it works out as long as we work hard. But now it's like if we work hard, we can get through this. Either we come out even or hopefully ahead or, we don't go 2 down. So
it's
I'm
very nice to have a fun. Even though they got scored on, I wasn't really disappointed because how they were playing. And that's a big difference.
And the goal that went in wasn't
what are you going to do?
Really a horrible. I mean, every now and again, you're going to have a lapse and it's going to go in. I mean, it's rough to get a shutout now in the NHL. It just does not happen. Look at most of the scores tonight. Most of them have been just insane. Although I think Calgary was pretty close to shutout.
So we got to get to Uncle Rico's goal at the end of this period because everyone in chat is talking about how they've got all these kinds of sexual references, talking about how that they couldn't believe how awesome that play was by him, and they were talking inappropriately. So yeah, you have to read the chat. This is not a Patreon show, but before we get there, the 5-on-2 rush clearly would have seen that ever in the history of Randy Carlyle. Like, that's just not happening. Ricard Raquel would have had to made a line change on that rush.
Yeah,
he would have been.
I think
yelled off
the ice. Came in with 5 guys. They would have dumped it in, and everyone would have had to change. It doesn't matter if there was no one back. It was a 5-on-0. Everyone change. No. You passed your limit. Yeah. Not only was it a 5-on-2, Raquel was the last guy. He was the last one in. Your most lethal goal scorer, on the team is their last guy in. He gets a puck and wrists it wide, but I always got to think he's like, what the hell's happening? Like he's looking around. He's like, oh crap, the puck. Shoot.
He and Kasha are due,
okay.
And it's 2 games in. They're due with how well they're playing so far. So
Max Jones on top of that too. Everyone's kind of due already, but it's only been 2
Gibby can't not talk about him. He did make a huge stop on Sorensen, who then went into the boards really hard and went straight to the bench for the Sharks. That ends up getting turned around. The Ducks go back the other way. Hampus with some silky moves finds Jones in front. Jones can't get the handle on it because he's being draped over by a defenseman in front. Hampus really stepping up his offensive game. Hope that turns around a better season than last year for him as well, because this whole team had just a garbage fire year last season. So it'd be nice to see Hampus get on the score sheet a little bit more. I was very happy with his game tonight, honestly. It's hard to look past Fowler and Gooley just because the stats say it all for them. But and the stats don't say it all for Manson and Hampus, and they do face tough minutes. And not to throw them a pass, but much better game tonight than they had against the Coyotes, against tougher competition, in my opinion.
Yeah, and on Manson's side of things, I mean, besides the physicality of everything, I mean, he's back to what he was, and that's clearing out the net. That's what we miss so much, especially when we went to like playoffs or we went to like heavy teams. We didn't have anybody that could push anybody around, and it was just Manson, and that's why. So we constantly had a BXer. We tried to, hopefully Holzer could kind of do it, but hopefully that was it. Other than that, we didn't have the Manson there. Manson in this game, he was clearing people out. There were chances where there could have been goals by San Jose, but Manson was on top.
Oh, we talk about that in the third period. Manson goes nuts. Yeah. Guys go nuts in the third period. Manson didn't like any of that going on. We can get to that in just a second. We have to talk about Devin Shore being robbed by Arundel, just because I want to talk about the most important part of the second period, which was Adam Henrique scoring his goal. And Kevin LeBanc having the OV broken controller syndrome, but he's not OV.
Well, we did.
It's like
100%.
Sorry, bro. You can't be bad defensively if you don't score a ton of goals like OV does. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But my God, he looked like me when I play at a much worse pace. By the way,
Oh,
but he looked like me doing a back check. Like, oh, that guy's got the puck. I'm just gonna.
You would have been
I'm
at
just gonna
you would
tap
have been
him.
at center.
Just gonna tap him.
You would have been at center, but yeah, he was like there for like half a second. Then he like looked back to see, can anyone grab this guy? Because I just gave.
Yeah, he's like,
and then Henrique just like, all right, well, cut to the middle, and it was still a beautiful goal that he scored. Anyways.
Backhand shelf is a beautiful
goal.
The
shot
man.
Was top shelf in tight. That's tough to do in any respect.
Takes the puck from hurdle in the neutral zone, breaks in, and LeBanc just.
It's like he was there for half a second, and then the second he realized, he's going to turn the corner. He's like, well, had a good run.
He's already going to score. It's all good. He's already going to
score. I'm just gonna hope the goalie's going to stack the pads and rob him.
Was that not when Erik Karlsson broke his stick over the net? I think that was the case.
I believe so. It was the third one where someone just.
I think it was Erik Karlsson.
But someone took their stick and just like
so good.
It's like I'm done. I
would have been pissed too seeing that. Like, dude, are you not in shape? Can you not at least look like you're trying to catch him?
Well, at the same time, that is their second game in 2 nights, and they've only scored 1 goal per game.
Yeah. Ryan Reeves got to their head, man. That's what happened. Sharks couldn't shake that. So the Ducks in the second period, 3-1. What a period! Yeah. Great night for Ryan Getzlaf tonight at every part of his game. And it's been a long time, Jay, since we've seen that guy be able to make plays consistently throughout the entire game and not look like he's doing it for naught. I felt like last season he would make a play, get open, make a pass, nothing happens. And it's like tonight he wins a board battle, gets a pass off, there's a rush, there's a scoring chance, there's something going on in his life on the ice where he can be like, oh, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm one of the top 10 centers in the league, the past 10 years. That's just what it is. I mean, I know he's in decline, and maybe he's not there this year, last year, but I mean, Getzlaf's done so much for this team. It's nice to see him be part of something that's going to be much better in the later stages, because I imagine it was not fun hockey the last couple of seasons in an Anaheim sweater.
Yeah, no, I mean, how much fun have you heard any player say? Oh yeah, no, Carlisle, the coach. Loads of fun.
Outstanding personality.
Can't wait to play hockey with this dude. But yeah, no, it's like last season. It was like literally you just watch him skate, and he felt like everybody was behind him, and he was just trying to pull them all together with him. It's like, come on, we can do this. I'm the captain. I'll help you out. Now it's almost like everyone's playing, and not as a gentleman, I don't notice him as much, which is actually good, because all of a sudden, oh yeah, there's Getzlaf. Oh, he's feeding somebody. Oh, he's doing something. It's almost like you're just not like waiting for like, well, everyone's going to suck. When's Getzlaf coming out here? I just need Getzlaf out there to maybe have some hope. And now it's like it just there's a wave, there's another wave, and Getzlaf's out there. Oh, he gave it to Kosher. Look at Kosher go. Oh, he's setting up Shore or Del Zotto. I mean, it's like you don't have to wait for Getzlaf to just drag this team into goal scoring.
Yep.
And that's got to be a relief. You can see it when he's playing and happy, and the whole other team is just like, hey, we're all contributing, and it's not just a one-man show anymore.
Exactly, and there's not a ton to talk about in the third period. There's a little bit, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. We spent a lot of time on the first and second period, guys, the most events. Ducks outchanced 20-13 in that second period. Beautiful. I think they probably had 20 scoring chances under Randy Carlisle altogether last season before Bob Murray took over.
Oh, if they're lucky.
I mean, maybe. I mean, all season.
Oh, you said all
season.
Yeah,
all season. I mean, 20 chances all season.
Per game.
They probably had 20 goals all season until Bob Murray took over behind the bench. That's what it felt like. I mean, dude, we talked about losses for months, it felt like, the beginning of last year. I mean,
and the same problem.
And we remember when they won against the Sharks last season, and we were like, they should never have won that game. Like, that was unbelievable.
Like, even when they won, we were like,
how'd they do that? It was magic. It was magic. Tonight, different story.
Pray to the hockey
Much
gods.
more positive things to look at here. Ducks outchance them 20-13 in all areas of the ice, not just at evens. So, great second period by Anaheim. I have not seen a team look like this from the Ducks in many years. It's been very refreshing. 2 games, we get it. But very refreshing.
Yeah.
Third period, we can definitely talk about this. underrated game tonight, Troy Terry. You noticed him tonight. He may have not been all over the score sheet, but you very much noted Troy Terry having chances, making plays. He had that play through the neutral zone. I think it was in the second period where he was able to go through a couple of guys and then he got stuffed by a defender. I'm not sure the defender was, but that doesn't really matter. The fact that Troy Terry has the confidence to go and zip through the neutral zone as a young player and pull off a little stick handle there without getting screamed at on the bench probably is a good thing for Anaheim. Right. Underrated game tonight was Troy Terry. But third period, Troy Terry robbed by Aaron Dell, also with Adam Henrique. I mean, he's visible there. And then Gibby, he's like, oh, hey, man, I got this little thing over here handled for the Vezina this year. I'm going to go ahead and rob Thornton and Brazinski, too. Two giant saves in the third period by John Gibson to keep this game 3-1, man. And Gibby had to be good when he needed to be. But like you said earlier, dude, he didn't have to be every other shot or for a long stretch.
Yeah, exactly. Like we talked about before. It's if you only need it every now and again, that will go a long way, not only in a goalie's psyche, but just the confidence that it builds throughout a team where it's like, listen, hey, we're playing well, but if we screw up, this dude is going to bail us out. But if we screw up for 5 minutes in a row, he's probably going to let in a goal, and we can't really expect him to do everything for us as far as keeping the puck out of the net. Right. So, it's like, hey, just make the sensational saves if you need to. Otherwise, we're really going to try and hold it down. But it's a difference between no one knowing what they're doing versus not only does the defense now know what they're doing, but forwards are there to help. And they're also not allowing, shots to get through from the point, getting deflected in front. Obviously 2 games, so we'll see where this goes from here. But the structure is so much better. I was going to
ask you about that. The structure being better and the forwards helping out. To me, it's very noticeable when the Ducks are in the defensive zone. The forwards aren't playing very high. They're not all over the defender. They're playing lower to the top of the circle, maybe even closer in between the circle and the dot. That's to be able to help out the defense. That's to be able to get on the puck on the half walls, to be able to support your defenseman for a breakout. And the Ducks are doing a much better job this season than last season with that. Because you can't get caught too high. Everyone always thinks it's man-on-man. Cool. You could lose your man in the fluff between the neutral zone and the blue line. The Ducks are doing a great job at supporting the defenseman. Being able to be available for an outlet pass is just something we didn't see last season. Didn't see a lot of that last season. The Ducks are doing a much better job this year.
Well, you just touched on it, and it was literally like you can be all in tight and just try and block everything through the middle, and then eventually you let things on the outside start to go, and then you kind of get beat that way. They're kind of staggered in a way where they're not going all the way to the points. They're not doing man-to-man, but they're kind of almost a little bit in zone. But by being a little bit more responsible defensively, it's when the puck does get shot or there's a puck open, everyone's ready to break out. Everyone kind of knows where everyone else is. So it's quick, easy, direct passes out of the zone where before it was like, oh, there's a puck, smack it. Hit it over there, get it to the corner, just get it away from here, and then everyone's just helter-skelter trying to figure out who do I cover and who's got the puck, and they got to look 3 different places before they make a decision. Now it's just like, all right, we've got this kind of figured out. There it is. I'm moving here. Here's an outlet. You got 2 outlets, 3 outlets. Just pick one.
Yep. No, 100%. It's so noticeable. You can see the forwards collapse in, help, and then the second the puck gets to the point, they're on the point. But they're not hovering up there. They're not getting ahead of the play. Yeah. They're there to help create the play. Yeah. Major difference. And that goes against what a lot of Ducks fans had said about, hey, man, not a big difference between Randy Carlyle and Dallas Eakins. You just watch. Just watch. These kids coming up, they want to have them play the same system. I'm like, wrong. Carlyle is a dinosaur. He is a dinosaur. It's not going to be the same under Dallas Eakins. And so far it hasn't. Going to say it again, man. Broken record 2 games in. But it's so nice. Ducks are able to pull off the victory in the third period. They hold down the fort over John Gibson with a 3-1 win. Of course, they get outshot and outchanced the third, ladies and gentlemen. That's called score effects. Ducks aren't trying to bury this team with taking chances, but they didn't back off. That was very important too. They still held a rush when they needed to. It wasn't this 0-4 check crap that we saw last year.
Yeah.
But the Sharks are a talented team.
Yeah.
They're going to get their chances in the third period when they're down.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and to your point, the Ducks that they don't do the dump and change. It was never a dump and chase. It was never a dump and chase last year. It was dump and change, and then they just kind of would meander out. And the other team had all the time in the world to figure out what they wanted to do. Now it was just it's dumping with a purpose, and then either forecheck hard, make them make a hard decision quick, something like that would just kind of change up how the team that's defending or trying to get back into the game would have to play it. So this is completely different. Even if they dump in it and do a line change, it's far and in between and way different from what we were doing or dealing with last year.
No, it's completely different, man. Quack pack, and then a bunch of letters chimed in. Sharks have the worst goalie tandem in the league, right? Jay, I think that's got to be, dude. It's got to be them, unless it's Mike Smith. Unless it's Mike Smith.
I'm
in Edmonton, right? That's where he's at now. Because Cam Tablet went to. I
didn't even throw. I throw L.A. in that mix as well. I think they just gave up 7 goals in their opener, or 6 or 7 goals to Edmonton.
No,
that's their first game in Edmonton. Kings? Played a couple. Yeah, Kings played Edmonton today. I thought I saw they were down 6-5.
Oh boy. That makes me so happy. Can't wait to text Kyle and Brian tomorrow about that one. They lost 6-5. Yeah,
6-5. I can figure other tandems that are a little bit worse. Jones had a horrific season, worst season of his career. You'd hope he kind of rebound, but at the same time, they've had 2 games against Vegas, which Vegas is top of our division. We're not going to compete with them. They're the cream of the crop. They're the best. They also had to play against Gibby and on a back-to-back night. And so Jones and Dell have had to deal with a total of 3 San Jose games where they've had a total of 3 goals. So unless they're getting shutouts every single game, they're probably going to lose.
Is this the point where the NHL broadcaster uses the old baseball, the old baseball saying, didn't get enough run support? They always say, didn't get enough run support. They always say that.
No, not necessarily. They didn't get enough defensive support. It's almost like a good pitcher where so many defensive lapses make your ERA as bad as it is.
Okay, we're losing everybody here. No one wants baseball
talk.
Hey,
basically got a little.
So Brett asked, so Pat, Ducks keep playing this way, you're going to save a lot of money on beer, aren't you? I mean, yeah, Jason and I will not be having to be hammered watching these games. I think that's what he's getting at.
Oh, well, there's some truth to that because literally I had a beer, I sat it down and to watch the second period, and there were like 7 face-offs in all of the second period. I mean, like I literally didn't want to get up and go get a beer, and my beer fridge is like left of my TV. And I wasn't going to do it. It was just so entranced with the way the Ducks were playing. I really didn't want to miss anything. So, yeah, in a way, we'll kind of save.
I mean, Josh chimes in. I get hammered whether the Ducks play well or not. I mean,
normally, yeah. Normally, but now it's like, oh my God, I don't want to miss it. I mean, I guess I got DVR. I could pause it, but then my phone blows up with all the, something happened.
I can't wait for the hate here with my take, but we're talking about Vegas. They're my second favorite team to watch. The Ducks are my favorite. Vegas is my second favorite team in the entire NHL to watch.
And I think the Ducks are kind of taking a page a little bit out of what Vegas does.
It's not a bad page to take, man. It really isn't. No. Vegas does it really well. The Ducks don't have a Mark Stone. Mark Stone makes time stop. He's the new Bergeron. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Marchessault's good on that team. Yeah, but anyways, the Ducks, I hate to, come off as a homer, but I am.
But you are.
Yeah, but in all honesty, I'll be critical if the Ducks actually suck, and I don't think they suck.
Oh, they know. Anybody listening to us today
good.
who heard last season's podcast, they know how we feel.
Yeah, they know we're not homers all the way. It was like, oh my God, again, they suck this bad.
Well, before we get to questions, because we're in the post game show right now, right? We finished our all of our talk about the games. Now we got to talk about the Ducks in the coming days. What's going to happen here? How do you feel the Ducks are going to play going on the road? First game in Detroit. That's going to be on Tuesday. And then they have a Thursday night in Pittsburgh. How are you looking at these games? Do you feel like they're going to be able to go in there and kind of... I mean, if they don't take care of Detroit, I'm a little concerned. They never really play well in Detroit. I know it's not the same arena. We're now in, was it Little Caesars Pizza Arena? Whatever that is. You got to wear a toga to be in the arena, apparently.
The infamous,
you got to wear a toga.
Little Caesars
you got to have a
Pizza
toga,
Arena.
and you have to eat your pizza on a spear. It's just the way it is.
And you can't say pizza once. It's always got to be at least multiple times.
Pizza twice. Got to be twice.
I wonder if it's $5 there.
Oh, dude,
so much cheaper than
I would love that. I mean,
all right. I mean,
if I'm ever in Detroit, which I never will be, sure.
Detroit's, they're tire fire. So any team that has any semblance of organization should do well against that team. I think the only person did they even add anybody?
They added Steve Yzerman to their management staff.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that'll work out for them later.
Yes.
But as far as moving on, I think the Ducks are going to build on a nice, 2 games where they only let in 1 goal in each game. They're getting better and better. They look better, and they're playing against a inferior
team with Dylan Larkin and people.
Yeah, there's a possibility, but hey, we're in the first time out on the road and yada yada yada. But I just think the Ducks are too focused and too into what they're doing and what they want to do this season to really kind of let the fact that they're on the road and they're in Detroit really kind of affect them. So I can't see them all of a sudden just letting off the gas pedal right now. So I think they could do that. I think Pittsburgh's going to be more of a challenge for sure. I think they won 7-2 tonight.
Yeah, but they didn't look good in their first game. That's for damn sure.
They didn't. But I mean, that's Russ. Ducks didn't look good in their first game, but they look decent, I guess. But that one will be a little bit more tough. At some point the Ducks are going to lose. I feel that. I don't know.
If there's any place to do it, it's going to be Pittsburgh. If Gibby starts,
who plays goal? Yeah. If Gibby plays goal,
I think we see Miller on the road. Do you not?
I do. At some point, I would even say probably.
This whole new thing where we got this entire whole new management. We got the guy looking after players' health and fitness. I think they're going to be like, "Hey, Gibby gets to start in Detroit. You think he starts Detroit and then takes Thursday off against Pittsburgh as hometown?
I think Miller probably does Pittsburgh, but then again, you know what?
I also wouldn't be surprised if he plays both.
I take that back. I think Gibby starts both games. I think
probably
he does Detroit. I think he does Pittsburgh. I think he's so good, and he's top 3 goalie in my opinion. So I think if you got a chance to play your top 3 goalie, and it's not back-to-back nights on the road, I don't see.
I think he's top 2. I think it's you and Gibson. But, that's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thin hairline between me and Gibson's ability.
Yes, no, very true. It's very small. It's weird you didn't make the NHL. Let's just be honest about that.
Yeah, it's odd. It's all politics.
Pretty much. You and Bob Murray on bad terms. Solid closing period for the Ducks in the third period. Solid game overall. Outstanding game, really. Honestly, it was an outstanding game if you look at it from all angles. The underlying stats will say that it was closer than you want it to be. But honestly, I throw the third period a little out the window just because score effects come into play. San Jose has to press, make those plays they normally wouldn't make to try to get back into the game. Outstanding game from Brendan Gooley and Cam Fowler. Andre Kasha with 6 shots on goal. That kid shoots from literally anywhere on the ice. Wants the puck. Adam Henrique, 4 shots on goal tonight too, by the way. 5-on-5. Those are all 5-on-5 stats, which is insane. Adam Henrique was 6 shots overall. He was in the play all the time tonight. And he had an underrated game against the Coyotes. I think he's primed to have another decent season. He's going to be the 50 to 60 point guy.
Yeah, he's gonna do. Adam Henrique is gonna do Adam Henrique things, and it's just the dude is a model of consistency. I mean, from the start to where he is now. I mean, you know what you're gonna get from Adam Henrique, which is awesome. Kasha, as long as he just, knock on wood here, stays healthy, he's good. And him, Getzlaf, and I'd much rather have Shore out there than have Richie out there. I
Wow.
mean,
How does
that
chat
line
feel
looked
about
way
that?
better.
Shore over Richie. How does everyone feel about that? Let's wait till they catch up in the chat here.
All right. Well, no, I would say just look at this game compared to last game. Like, I understand Richie needs to be put
Yeah,
somewhere.
Josh says
but
Shore greater than Richie.
I cannot see Richie as a top line guy. And even if you want to say Getzlaf's second line guy, I don't think Richie's second line. I think he's third line. He's third
Ricky
or
says
fourth.
the same thing, man. They agree with you too.
If he can't be fourth line,
Damn,
then
everyone's
why
with you.
have him? Why have him? Everyone's agreeing with me. I'm full of good points.
I mean,
man.
you're probably
I may
the
be a
best
goalie,
taker.
but I'm
You got
smart.
all the best takes. I got to ask you a question, man. Because I'm
Fire away.
very curious what you think your answer is going to be. I know you don't have your laptop up with the stat sheets in front of you, so don't do it.
No, it's over
I'm
here.
sure
Hold my
everyone
old beer.
else can look at these stats here and guess. But if you haven't already known the answer, go ahead and throw it in chat. Who do you think led all players, or not all players, all forwards in ice time tonight?
Terry.
No.
No, it's way
One
off.
more guess.
Right.
One more.
Was that? Let's see. Who did I hear a whole lot? Damn. Henry.
Derek Grant.
Really? Elite
18,
center number
almost
1.
19 minutes tonight. He was the
That is damn
fifth most
impressive.
play. No, sorry, 17 minutes and 33 seconds. He was behind
Really?
Gooley and
'Cause you just
Fowler,
said 19
Manson, and
minutes.
Lindholm. He was fifth on the team. He was behind 4 defenders. Insane that you're playing Derek Grant that much, right? He played more than Ricard Raquel. He played more than Andre Kasha, more than Jakob Silverberg.
Well, who has more goals, Kasha, Raquel, or Grant? I'm just gonna throw it out there real quick. I don't think it really matters at this point. I think it's the Dallas Eakins thing is I hate saying you got to roll 4 lines. You can't
Almighty
roll 4
Peppa in
lines
our chat said our Lord and Savior Derek Grant. Everyone else is like, holy hell, who are you talking about? Are you kidding me?
Elite
Elite
center
1C,
number 1,
Coach
Derek
Blood.
Grant.
Whoever Coach Blood is, great name, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, you give it to whoever is going to be out there and produce, and that's what I like about what Aikens does, or, I guess I hope that's what the NHL does as far as other coaches do. It's like, well, who is producing, who's going out, who's making the effort? I don't care that, hey, you used to be great 2 years ago, or, you got a really good shot or something like that. It's like, who's working hard, who's not a detriment. And usually the really great players end up kind of making that. But, I wouldn't use it as I'm going to hold you back just because I don't know your name and I know that dude's name. But if that dude's hustling and he's doing his job or excelling past his job expectation, then put him in and make him play until he screws up. If he screws up, then it's not that bad. But figure it out now before playoffs.
Everyone who's listened to the show long enough knows that I love Hampus Lindholm. He was at the top of expected goals for. Just saying. Just saying. When he was out there, everyone was trying to score goals or did score goals. That's a great thing for Hampy there. I love him there. But
he had one play where I think he threw it in front, almost got
Jones.
a goal. I think it was
Jones. Jones in front.
Was it Jones who missed?
Jones bobbled it because he had someone draped all over him. He had a Norris.
There's that one.
He had a Norris
he had
defenseman
another
on,
one without Rowan. Yeah.
There was a lot of good things tonight.
Any more questions in chat?
Let's do that. Let's get on to questions. Anyone have questions in chat? Please ask. If you don't, that's okay. We'll go to Twitter. We have a couple questions on Twitter we want to get to before we wrap the show up. But we got to go with questions in chat first, as you guys are here. Let's see what happens here. No, Almighty Peppa says, the way I see it with Derek Grant is he wins faceoffs to keep puck possession, and he doesn't take penalties too often, so I see why he's leading ice time. It's a good point. So far, you don't really see Derek Grant on the negative side of things. You don't see an egregious turnover by Derek Grant, but I want to say that probably has a lot to do with from when you saw him prior to this. It wasn't under Dallas Eakins. He didn't get the kind of ice time he's getting now. positive implications that you're seeing now from him is that he actually is a player who can play hockey and a player who can produce and a guy who's responsible. So if we get that kind of production out of him, then he deserves the ice time. If he's making the plays away from the puck, I don't mind it.
And correct me if I'm wrong from the Arizona game, but the Ducks had leads going into the third period and had to try and maintain leads. I think maybe at that point you get a guy who can win a lot of faceoffs, who's good defensively, because Getzlaf, although underrated defensively, I think would take chances offensively. So I think that they might be more prone to putting out the fourth line center. Although Grant's elite center number one, I get it. They probably would let him get more of that ice time in those two games, in those two instances, I would think. I mean, I could be wrong, but I would think that's maybe it. He's not a liability.
Not at all.
He
He doesn't take penalties either.
And it doesn't take penalties, so you know what you're getting. And I would say that's probably why he got a little bit more time, especially with the Ducks being up 3-1 going into the third.
The big deal is
they'll bleed a little chances, but hopefully they're not high danger.
Exactly.
That's all.
So Ricky says, Richie on the trade block. 2
Forever.
games in. I don't know, man. Ricky, you might be wishing too hard here, Bo. I don't know, man.
Yeah, for what?
That's the tough
only
call.
thing.
You can't trade what you don't want for something you want. You can't do it.
Yeah.
It's tough. That's a tough one.
Everyone's gonna look, and maybe you get that. Yeah, it's tough early on. Maybe there's a panic button for some.
There's no panic button.
GMs. Well, I mean, in San Jose,
Ooh,
they're 0-3.
0-3
with 3
you
losses
lost to the most
division
unwatchable team in the NHL according to the score.
According to scores. But yeah, I mean, Richie still has value in the fact that he's was his 6th overall pick or 7th or something like that. I mean, I think it was top 10. But as far as I would think he's expendable at this point. Maybe the Ducks are still trying to find a way to make him work in the lineup. But the fact there's a healthy scratch and the Ducks look better without him.
Yep.
I don't really see much of a reason to keep him on. He had his shot, and maybe just needs
2 games in,
change the scenery.
2 games
better.
in.
I know.
2 games in.
I know. No, not with Richie. We're 4 seasons in with Richie.
Probably.
We're 4 seasons in and 2 games. Okay.
Let's get on to another question here. We have we got to go to Brett. He says, "Can you adopt me, Pat?" Sure.
He doesn't have that space.
I mean, I know he wants to get adopted because he wants better internet because he's in Canada. That's the main reason.
Oh, he's a Canadian?
Yeah, he lives in Winnipeg, Edmonton, Manitoba, Moose, something. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Very far away.
Oh, those mooses. Yeah.
Brett, I would love to have you in California and come to a game. You should come. You can definitely stay here or with Jason. We have room. We have couches. We have air beds.
No, he doesn't. He don't want.
We have tents you can sleep in the yard that I don't have that Jason does. You can put a tent in the yard at Jason's house.
I'll rent a moose.
Do something.
I can get you here.
We'd love to have you here, though.
Give you a Mountie hat. You could just sneak in.
I knew you were going to go Mountie route. I knew you were going to do that.
So
Coach Blood says, Allers mentioned Grant's ice time and said, for a supposed fourth-line center. Yeah, because Aikens doesn't play line matchups, John Allers. He rolls lines as he led all forwards in ice time. Come on. Why does Allers say dumb stuff all the time?
I think you know what? I'll defend Allers a little bit here. Oh, God.
I just had 2 aneurysms and a stroke.
Cry.
Thanks.
You're crying. You're all mad about it. No, he's like, for a supposed fourth-line center, he's basically saying Grant's so good, but everyone views him as a fourth-line center. But he's being utilized so well because he's playing so well. Well, this is a supposed fourth line, but look at this dude. He's leading ice time. Good on you. Everyone's taking his. I don't know. Are you taking it in a negative way, the way that Aller said it? Because I would.
He's just stating it. Not a negative. They're just stating it. But like Allers is kind of like, come on, dude. Come on.
I'll agree with that statement.
I mean, Allers is the guy who doesn't pay his league fees on time in beer league. He's that guy. Apparition says, do you feel that Sprong will get called back up with the team playing this well to start the season? Yes, I do. I do think he still gets called back up. You're going to see him in 10 to 15 games. You're going to see Daniel Sprong.
10 to 15 games. That's like a quarter of the
You're
season.
gonna see.
Right?
They're gonna get. You got to give guys time to play. Jones hasn't scored. You're gonna see.
Yeah, but they're what's his name? Eric Stevens put this on the Athletic, and it was Aiken said this. It was like, listen, he's got talent to score goals, and he's still young. He's 23, I think. They're like, when the play is away from him, we got to see hustle. We got to see some sort of initiative. Their biggest gripe is how he plays when he's not about to score. And if he's not about to score, that's where they have a problem with his work ethic or where he's doing. He's more or less just hanging back, waiting for, that cherry picker that you don't like on your team. It's just like he's good, but he's just waiting for his opportunity, and he's not willing to play strong defensively or to help the team out. And if you're that player, you're going to have to learn how to play the right way. And that's what Eric Stevens said in his thing real quick. On
he
the
still
Athletic.
scored more than Nick Ritchie last year.
Yeah, he'll do better, but I mean that's what I think. Maybe they want him to learn that, and then hey, learn it, get it good, and then you'll be a regular NHLer. So I don't think they're doing him any service by keeping him on the team if he's just gonna cherry pick and not be Ovechkin like numbers. You can cherry pick if you're putting in 50 goals. He's not gonna put in 50 goals. So either get better defensively or you're in the AHL.
Let's get to comments on Twitter. Joseph Roba, who did our video intro, by the way, for the podcast, thank you very much.
Love
How
him.
long before Bob says no more to Nick Ritchie keeping Max Comtois in the minors? You're going to see Max soon. Comtois going to come in the lineup. He's going to get called up.
At some point, there's going to be an injury. Sure. But
how dare you say that, by the way?
It's almost good.
He had a premonition that no one else has had?
Dude, I got nervous when he went to go hug Getzlaf in the corner. Like, I thought, oh, here comes a concussion. But as far as Comtois, he's good enough to play in the NHL, but he's going to be serviced better by playing in the
exactly.
AHL.
He's got to get time in there to get up to speed. He just has to. He dominated everywhere else. He's got to play. He's got to play big boy hockey.
Kid. He's got to play against bigger guys, and you'll get that whole thing going. He's not bad. If there's an injury, I'm assured either him or Sprung are the first ones called up, and he'll be in there. As far as putting Nick Ritchie down,
he can't. No, he's not. He'll be a healthy scratch.
He'd be a healthy scratch for a while, and they look for a trade option. And at some point, they probably would just say, "This experiment's over, and we'll trade you for a bag of pucks." I mean, I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but yeah, I don't think you see Richie go down and then all of a sudden Comtois comes up in his stead.
Got to address the chat here. Eddie didn't fall asleep tonight. He fell asleep before our show last game. Everybody. He's on vacation tonight at a wedding, partying, drinking Mango Cart apparently, or whatever the heck he's drinking in Canada and Sudbury. We love Eddie.
Canada.
Eddie's no longer in chat. I think Eddie had to go to bed. It's 1:12 or something in the morning there, or 2:12 in the morning there.
Dude, sack it out.
What's your battery power at, Jay? We got a few more questions, bro.
Probably about 15%. Okay. I'm somewhere between 10 and 20.
We got about 10 to 15 minutes left. Alex McKay in Twitter, he says, which Ducks forward needs to score most in order to boost their confidence for this year? Raquel, Terry, Jones, Silverberg, or someone else? Jones, yes, because he literally had the most chances, it felt like. Was he allowed to shoot the puck under Randy Carlyle? I don't think he was. I think he was told to smack it with his stick along the boards. That's it.
Even then, we've talked about it. Kasha is one of those game breaker types, or the dynamic player. The one that they don't have to play with Getzlaf. They don't have to play with your other number two guy. They can play the third line and they'll just produce chances. Kasha has been able to capitalize on most of those chances, or at least a significant portion of those chances, where Max Jones has that same potential where he can break a game open with a move and how he plays, and it just has not gone in.
No.
It did late, and you saw his very first goal where he scored against Carey Price, of all people, and he just absolutely was relieved.
Oh, it was his 7th goal tonight, too. So I know he wanted to feel bad for celebrating, but he was like, no way, I can't. I have to.
So happy. And, I don't want to see game after game after game, chance after chance after chance. And all of a sudden we're 7 games, 8 games in, and he hasn't scored yet. That's just kind of like, I'm doing everything right. They're just not going in. That's where it kind of gets in your psyche a little bit, I would assume. So I would think he's probably the one I'd want to see just all of a sudden get like 4 goals. 4 goals in the next 6 games or something like that. And then all of a sudden he's on easy street. He's good to go.
I have to give a shout out and also a question from Jacob. Jacob on Twitter. Shout out to Jacob for wanting to keep his Jacob Twitter handle, just Jacob. He literally, it's Jacob 588605660. No, Jacob, the way you're supposed to spell it. Okay.
Yeah.
I shout out that guy and power too for like, I'm keeping my damn name as a Twitter handle, bro. I don't care how many numbers I'm going to put in front of it. I thought it was pretty outstanding.
All right, what's a
he asks, question? Surely Richie is a better option than Delorier, right? Also, can we go ahead and crown Gibby with the Vezzy? Oh, wait, never mind. He's still a Duck. Exactly. Yes. I still will agree that Nick Ritchie is a great 3rd/4th line player. And I think he has better hockey sense, better hockey skill than Nick Delorier. I agree with Jacob here on both accounts. Richie's better.
I would.
John Gibson's a Duck.
I would if...
Maybe he doesn't even get talked about for the Vezina, and he has like a sub-2 GAA and a 9.3 save percentage. He still doesn't get talked about. Because he didn't win 55 games. That's the way it is.
Yeah. Gibson will be get talked about as far as Vezina. It all comes down to wins. If he's within 4 wins of the guy who won the most games as far as goalies, then he's got a legitimate shot. If he's 5 games or out or lower, I don't care how good his goals against average, his save percentage. Those are the 2 things they will look at after wins. Like wins is like you it's a pedestal. If you don't hit the highest wins, you better be dominant in the other 2. And that isn't even really what makes a great goalie good. There's a lot of underlying numbers, and I don't want to say fancy stats, but advanced stats for goalies, goals saved above average. I mean, it goes on and on. There's a whole bunch of other better ones. So unless Gibby gets within 4 wins of the top guy, there's no way he wins the Vezina.
That's what it is.
That being said, as far as Richie, yeah, I think Richie's better than Delorier, but at the same time,
he's way better than Delorier, hockey sense, hockey player wise.
Hockey sense wise, I agree. But where I don't agree is where Richie takes too many stupid ass penalties. Richie's put into too many good opportunities where he F's up.
Yeah,
if he stops
I guess you
up,
can see that.
As long as he's just as long as average, he doesn't take bad penalties. He's stronger and more intimidating than Delorier and a better hockey sense. He just takes too many stupid penalties.
2 questions left.
That's my gripe with him.
Also, lineups are great without Nick Ritchie, says Ricky. Of course they do.
Shocker.
Of course they do. No penalty. Last question of the night before we wrap. We have some stuff to talk about when we wrap, so we got to get to it. Do you think Shore stays in the lineup over Nick Ritchie? Yes, I do. I think he absolutely does. Shore's not going to get scratched over Nick Ritchie.
It was pretty good.
I personally think he should.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chase for saying that. Chase of House Stark. That is a reference I will never know because I don't watch Game of Thrones.
What is it?
I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But he says, I personally think he should. Richie hasn't showed me anything that makes me think he's a top 6 guy at all. He's not a top 6 guy. He's a top 9 guy with the right players. And I'm a Nick Ritchie supporter.
Now, would you say a top 9 guy or a bottom 6? Because I would say he's bottom 6, and you say top 9.
I think he's very versatile.
That's a real nice way of saying
he's not quite the Chris Kunitz that everyone hopes he was going to be, where you could pair him with like a center who can help him, score goals and win championships. I
think they drafted the wrong guy at the wrong time.
Nick Ritchie was drafted, in the first round where he probably
to be a big guy, a power forward. The Ducks were doing that, and now the NHL is not that way, and so he's got to figure out how he's going to fit in the NHL, and it's not going to be a top 6 role. It is in a bottom 6 role or top 9 if you want.
Ritchie is not as bad as we think he is. It's definitely has to do with the expectation of where he was drafted, which we've talked about many, many times.
Okay.
It has to be. He is a bottom 6 guy if you don't pair him with the right people. He could be a top 9 forward, pair with the right guys. He had a great stretch. Oh my God, we can't have this conversation. It's going to go into a tirade. Jason's going to lose his goddamn mind.
I was just
late.
saying, it's like he's a bottom 6 guy, but you pair him with the right
We're
one.
done with questions. Everyone hates Nick Ritchie except me. Let's move on to this. Thank you, everyone on Twitch, for supporting us, tuning in this late at night. It's 11:20, and we appreciate all the support, all the comments in chat, all the tweets, all the Instagram, all the Facebook. We love all of it. All the Patreon support we've gotten. We've gotten 3 new Patreons recently, very recently, which is very nice. McCann supported us, I think it was yesterday, which is very nice. Robert supported us a couple of days ago, which was also very nice. It's great to get that financial backing that we love to have. It enables us to do things that we normally wouldn't be able to do, which is putting
extra
shows, giving away stuff. We always want to make sure we give things back and able to send things back to your way because of all your guys' support. It's just a nice thing to do. And Almighty Peppa, he's one of our new elite Patreon members and the top tier. Shout out to you as well, obviously.
You'll be getting one of these hats.
His real name's John. Just want to throw that out there. You're going to get a hat.
John.
Hats are in production. If you haven't already got one, you're going to get one between now and it sucks, but between the end of November, it takes time to make them, and it takes funds to make them. We've got it. We're going to get it done. So between now and the end of November, we're going to have those ready. Also, everyone, just if you're in the Orange County-ish area, we would love it if you came from out of it and you listen to us. So that's a big trek. Make sure you have a DD or you have an Uber app or Lyft app on your phone for the watch parties we're scheduling. Jason's already been very much into scheduling watch parties. And
should have 5.
Jason wants 5. We hope for 5. I'm with
5.
him.
I think we can get 5. There's a possibility of
Saturday
6,
the 23rd is what we're looking at as our
5.
first one of November.
They're all going to be Saturdays, which is the best part. And they'll vary as far as time, but I try to get them like early afternoon to late afternoon. But they'll all be Saturdays. They're all away games, and they'll all be pretty good ones. I think a couple are Kings games, a San Jose game, St. Louis, Tampa Bay, I think.
Yep.
And so that's where we're going to get. But they'll all be in Orange County. So stay tuned because those watch parties are so much fun.
Yeah, no, we do giveaways
Absolutely,
there too,
100%.
and we just like to interact with you guys hanging out. The best part about all this is we're in a small market, and we're in a small market as a collective. Everyone who watches the Ducks is like, man, like we're not that top team everyone talks about. We're not this, we're not that. But the awesome thing is we all love our team and we all support our team. So if there's a watch party, I want to be there, and we'd love to have you guys at our watch party and come do that. They're normally in Yorba Linda. We're going to go to Lamppost and get that done for sure. They always support us. We're going to be there. There's another venue that we'll kind of keep secret until it becomes permanent into our schedule. We're looking at another place too in Yorba Linda as well that wants to support us and give us some specials for people that are coming to watch hockey. But we're looking right now at November 23rd, which is a Saturday. And it's a Saturday, I think, against the Lightning, Jay?
Yeah, Tampa
Bay. It's an earlier game. I would love to have made the week before against Tampa, but I can't. So we're...
well, no, the week before wouldn't have been Tampa.
Would it have been Tampa the week before, is what you said?
No.
Oh, so there was so was it...
St. Louis? I
might have screwed this up. Anyway, November 23rd is what we're looking at Lamppost, and they've got a new spot, and it's awesome. Ricky, just drive from Phoenix, dude. It's very easy to get here by. I drive there at least 3 times a year. It's very easy.
Yeah, stop crying about going to Phoenix to here.
Just buy a plane and fly here. It's so easy. It's so easy.
Leave Friday, you'll be here by
easily.
Saturday.
You can just walk here, really. It's that close. But
stay with Pat.
Watch parties are on their way. We're doing lanyards, koozies, stickers are done, hats are on their way.
Lanyards?
Someone chimed in here and said that they want hoodies. I would love to get the backing to do hoodies. If we had enough people that wanted one, we could definitely do them. We just have to get people who want them.
We'll get there, I assume, because I really want a hoodie, too.
Yeah, well...
it's almost winter here in Southern California.
It might be 58 at midnight. We don't know. But...
well, what am I going to do when I'm running out naked? I need a hoodie.
Stay up to date with us guys on Twitter. That's the main place we post stuff. Go to Forever Mighty on Twitter. You can catch us, all the stuff there. Go to forevermighty.com. That's our website that we'll be updating all the time as well for any news you want to grab. All of us have individual Twitter accounts. I don't know Jason's or Eddie's off the top of my head, so I can't repeat them. but you can find us. What is yours?
mine?
I think it's Beer League Elite. Is that what it is?
Nah,
Probably not. That's probably already taken.
Yeah, soon to be NHL.
I think it's
material.
probably taken by Carey
I-
Price. Soon to be NHL Materials, Carey Price.
Well, my Twitter is just. I think it should be just Jason. I don't know. I should really pay attention more.
But if you guys haven't already and you're listening right now and you want to support us on Patreon, that'd be awesome. That's the extra step, and we understand that. Anything that you guys are doing already is amazing. If you would like to support us financially, and we can get back to the extra shows. We do Pucks and Brews. We do a rant show. We do game shows we're starting this month. Absolutely happening. You'll be able to be entered to win some of Bobby's Bargain Bin items. We're going to go ahead and capture items from our favorite players that were not amazing, but it's fun. And at the end of all of it, if you're the winner, you get an amazing item. We already have that item ready to give away at the end of the season, which is awesome. You'll love it. But yeah, check us out on Patreon. If you haven't already, we have several tiers that are available. And we do as much as we can is to give back to you guys because that's what we want. But it's patreon.com/PuckGuysForeverMighty. Because Jason and I used to have a show many moons ago where it was just the two of us. And Eddie joined it.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up now.
Before your phone dies, yes. So thank you everyone for listening, and we will talk to you guys on Tuesday against Detroit. Have a great one, guys.
Awesome.